Hey guys, welcome to our channel. I hope you guys are all having a good day. So today we're going to talk about some popular misconceptions in the Star Wars universe. Now keep in mind these are just some of them. If you know of any other popular misconceptions, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. Or if you would like for us to make another video covering different misconceptions, please let us know in the comments below. So our first misconception is that droids are all non-sentients. Now this is one that many may not think about because it's normal for us to put intelligent beings in a separate category as droids or robots. But in the Star Wars universe, it's not so simple. Sure, many droids wouldn't achieve any sentience, but many droids in fact did. We can see this being reflected in how they usually have their own personality quirks and can experience discomfort, the culmination of these factors leading to droid sentience in many cases. Despite this, droids were often viewed as property to be owned and ordered around, much to the dismay of the Rebel Alliance. The Rebels viewed droids as equals and actually fought for droid rights. L337 fought for freedom, for example. Now our second point is that only some beings are Force sensitive. We have seen so many iconic characters strong in the Force, and Force sensitivity has at times come across as something as a bit exclusive to a select few. In a Star Wars Rebels discussion, Dave Filoni brought up an interesting point. He said that everybody is Force sensitive. Han is, he just calls it luck. Then Dave goes on to talk about how it's the level of control, the mastery of using the Force that makes the difference. When Han is doing something crazy, for example, while flying, and pulls it off as he always seems to, it's probably because he's tapped into the Force, just not in the same way a Jedi might be. This is interesting because Han didn't even want to believe in the Force at first, yet he was probably affected by it on a daily basis, knowing his lifestyle. Our third point has to do with bad guys, always thinking that they're always bad. Now this point could get a little philosophical, but think about some of the bad guys of Star Wars. Darth Vader, Darth Maul, the Imperials, the First Order, bounty hunters, and the list could go on. How many of these guys were truly evil? And how many simply made a bad, life-altering decision in response to personal tragedy or simply out of ignorance, never really having any chance or any say in the matter? A great example of this point is Del Meeko from Battlefront 2 campaign mode. When he first met Luke Skywalker, he spoke of his life as a child in Coruscant, and how the Empire was the only thing he knew, and how he used to be scared of the Jedi when he was young. The amount of propaganda the Empire would be drilling into these young minds would have led to generations of ignorance and bias against the Jedi, and well, the good guys. Nobody would really have a choice in this matter, and most of these people never realized the true consequences of their actions. The Empire bred thoughts of self and not thoughts of the greater good, so this shouldn't be too surprising. Our fourth point is about using the Force when you're angry, and how this does not mean that you're necessarily using the dark side. To tap into the power of the dark side was to indulge in raw emotions and was channeled by Force sensitives who twisted their ability to use the Force to acquire power for themselves in return for allowing the dark side to consume their soul. This might be considered, as Obi-Wan Kenobi would say, as an absolute and extreme. There are some Force abilities that draw one to the dark side, but that isn't to say that it is strictly a dark side ability, or that you have to use the dark side in order to have that Force ability. How many times have we seen Jedi, the apparent good guys, kill another being, especially during the Clone War? And yet, no one would necessarily accuse him of using the dark side to do so. We might take this point into consideration when considering how Grogu was using the Force to throw around and kill stormtroopers in his cell on Moff Gideon's ship during The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 6. Was he really using the dark side? Well, we shouldn't presume that he was simply because he killed people. That's not enough proof in the Star Wars universe. And our last point, well, this is a very controversial one, and that is that Rey learned the ways of the Force too quickly. Now, we're not here to get into a discussion about the sequels and about how good or how bad they are. To each his own. But we do our best to find logical explanations to things that we don't understand because we are Star Wars fans and we want to enjoy everything related to Star Wars, and we want everything Star Wars to be a positive experience for us. So here is out. In the novelization of The Last Jedi, it explained to us that a side effect of Kylo Ren's Mind Probe was the unlocking of Rey's dormant Force abilities. She even accessed Kylo Ren's memories of his Force training, leading to her getting a head start in a way of Force training even before she started with Luke. Just as in Luke's days as a young Jedi learner, there was no Jedi Order that would have recognized her Force abilities as a youngling and taken her in for training. Ahsoka Tano recognized in The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 5 that Force abilities could fade after a period of Force inactivity. So after being left all alone in Jakku by her parents, it makes sense that this is what happened to Rey. Now take a moment to honestly think about the amount of training Luke received from Yoda in the original trilogy. Really, think about it. How would it compare to the amount of training we saw Rey get under Luke? Now, how would Luke's speed in mastering the Force compare with Rey's speed in mastering the Force? Rey had an incredibly strong Force user in her family line, as did Luke. There are logical explanations as to why or how she was able to achieve learning the ways of the Force so quickly when you think about it. And we also have to think about how what we see on screen in the movies is not necessarily all the training Luke and Rey got. There could have been more training that we just did not get to see in the movies. But let us know, what do you think of this explanation? Well guys, these are our 5 points. We hope you enjoyed them. And again, any comments, opinions, or facts that you might want to share with us, please feel free to do so in the comments below. And if you like our videos, please be sure to subscribe and give us a like. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you in the next one.